Hey, I hope you're having an absolutely incredible day. Today, I'm going to be running you through this social media content scheduler. Now, not only will you be able to create all the different assets for your YouTube, TikTok, Instagram Reel, Twitter, and YouTube short videos, such as the title, the description, and the tags, by simply dropping your video into a Google Drive inbox and choosing the type of video that you are creating, but you'll also be able to schedule all of your posts directly within your content calendar so you can see what posts you have coming up, and it's all sorted according to color. You simply grab it, you drag it where you want in the calendar, and you set the time. And when it hits that time, it'll trigger the make automation to be able to post to that platform. The best part is you can pretty much do all of this completely for free. All you have to do is sit with me and watch this video from beginning to end to learn how you can build it yourself from scratch. If you are looking to quick start and jump right into it, you can get this full blueprint as well as the whole content calendar Airtable system by joining my community, where you'll have access to this blueprint as well as many more to help you with automating your content creation. Now it's currently 60% off its full-time price, and it will be going up 24 hours after this video. So if you are looking to join, I hope to see you in there to be part of this amazing team. Now, with that being said, let's jump right into it. There's a lot to cover, and I think you'll get immense value out of this. I also just wanted to mention that there will be a document in the description below where you have access to all of the prompts as well as some sample media so that you can follow along with this tutorial and not have to pause the video in between. I'm doing this because I've followed a lot of tutorials where I've had to pause the video and it's a pain, and I want to make your life as easy as possible. Cheers. Alright guys, so you're going to go ahead and create a new base. That base is going to be called content, and you are just going to want to create this view. We're going to call it all content. So if you're starting from scratch, just name this grid view to all content, and then we'll dive into the other steps after. So the first thing that you're going to want to have is an ID. ID is just a simple auto number, so go ahead and add that in. This will assign a unique ID to every piece of content that will be added to this. The next thing we're going to want is the file name. File name is just a single line text, and it is usually the piece of content that we uploaded. Next, we're going to want a video ID, which is going to be a single line text, as well as the folder ID. And the reason this is important is because when we upload content to our Google Drive, which is where we'll store all our content, we're going to need the folder ID and the video ID that are going to be created with each piece of content. Next, we're going to want the video type. So for this, I just have YouTube, I have TikTok, I have Instagram Reel, I have YouTube Short, and we'll even toss in Twitter. So for that, you're going to want to choose a single select, and then these are the different options that you'll add. And then I just kind of color coded them according to their platform. Next, we're going to want to have a YouTube title, which is going to be a long text. We're going to want to have YouTube tags. We're going to want to have the thumbnail prompt, and all of these are going to be long text. And we could also just go ahead and duplicate all of these, so that based on the platform that it's posting to, it's going to generate different titles, different descriptions, and different tags. And this is important because of the character limits that exist on the different platforms. So we'll just duplicate the YouTube title. So in total, we'll have 5 different kinds. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy that 5 times, and we'll rename them accordingly. All right, so there we have it. So I just added it 5 times: YouTube title, TikTok title, Instagram Reel title, YouTube Short title, Twitter title, and then we're going to create multiple views. So this one's going to be called YouTube video. We'll add another grid view. We'll call this TikTok video. We'll add another view. We'll call this Instagram Reel title, and we'll add another one. We'll call it Twitter title, and we'll add another one. We'll call it YouTube Short title. Alright, so I just went ahead and named all those, and now we'll come back to all content, and we will do the same for the description, same for the tags, and we'll just go ahead and duplicate all those. Alright, so then I just went ahead and did the same for all of these, and then we'll do the same for the YouTube one as well. For the tags, we're just going to duplicate all the tags 5 times, and then we'll keep the thumbnail prompt because it's general and it'll be applied to every single one no matter what. We are going to click the first one, scroll all the way over to YouTube description, and we're just going to hide these 10 fields. There's a couple more I missed, so we're going to hide those as well. And so now we no longer see them in this view, and with every other view that we've created, we are just going to keep the specific tags, right? So When we come into YouTube video, we'll hide all the other titles and all the other fields and make it so that you only get the fields that we want for the video that we are posting to the specific platform. Alright, now I did the same for TikTok. So I just kept the title, the description, the tags. Then we'll do the same for the Instagram reel. Hop in here in the hide fields, you can do it much faster. And we'll do the same for Twitter. So there we see the Twitter setup. So Twitter title, Twitter description, Twitter tags, and then we'll do the same with YouTube short. Alright, so now all of those have been created. And now when we select a specific video type, we are going to want to create that row under that specific field. So we're going to add a filter, and that filter is going to be where the video type is YouTube. So now we'll only see YouTube video results in the YouTube video form, and we'll just do the same for all the others. So we'll add a condition where the video type is TikTok. So now it should be blank. Perfect. Same with Instagram Reel, where the video type is Instagram Reel. Same with Twitter, where the video type is Twitter. Same with YouTube Short. Boom. And now we have all 5 done. So now when we come in here and we select the video type that we want, it'll instantly get added into that specific folder. The next thing you want to add is a posting time. So the posting time, you just come in here, you're going to select date. You're going to make sure you select local, and we want to include the time, and then the time format is going to be set to 12 hours. And make sure you turn off the default option of selecting to the current date, and you can display the time zone if you want, and just go ahead and hit save. And so now from your main dashboard, you could come in here and you'll see we now have a calendar. So let's say I wanted to schedule this post for tomorrow. I would click tomorrow, and then I can choose the time that I want from here, or I could just type it in and hit save. And now if we come into calendar, right, we're going to create a calendar. So go ahead and click calendar view, and then when we pop in here, it's going to ask us which data fields we'd like to use for this view. So if you click here, we're going to select posting time, and we're going to hit done. And then we're going to come into customize labels. From here you can select what you want to turn on. For now, I'm just leaving these 3 on. Now here we're going to start our connection with make. So we're going to create an automation, and we're going to select when a record matches the condition. Then we're going to choose our content table, and we're going to select posting time when posting time, and the video type is equal to YouTube. We are going to run a script, and then this is the code that we want to pass. So first we were going to want to create, same in a lot of my other videos, right? We want to have the record ID, and then the value is going to be that Airtable record ID as the variable. Now this is where we're going to want to put our webhook in. So we're going to say let params equal to input config await fetch. The action is going to be set to YouTube because it's a YouTube video that we're passing. Now we're going to hop into make, and we're going to create watch responses. We'll create that webhook, and then we'll copy that to clipboard, head back in, paste it in here. Now we have that webhook successfully configured, and we'll just go ahead and hit finish editing. And next thing we want to do is trigger that response. So we're going to come back into YouTube, back into here, and for the time right now, you can just set all of these to, you can literally just write 1 2 3 4 across all of these, and we're just set them to random variables for now. We just want to make sure that it's properly getting the data, and we're going to change the date to today, and we're going to set the time to, let's say, 7:30. Make sure it has the YouTube tag. Now we should see it on our calendar here, and then we'll come back into here. We'll choose the specific record. Here it is, and now we'll try testing that action. We'll run it once, and we should be able to pick up that data. Now you can see we have the record ID as well as the action being YouTube that were successfully passed. Next thing we're going to want to add is a router. And the reason this is important is because now we're going to have YouTube videos, TikTok, all of these different videos. And what's going to happen is it's going to catch that response. So let's say instead it was a Twitter video or a Twitter post. It's going to hit that router, and then because of the action we set, it's going to go down one of these channels. And so we're going to set the first one up now, which is going to be a filter. The label is going to be equal to YouTube, and the condition is going to be where the action is equal to YouTube. And we'll just come down here and hit save. So it took me a bit of time to figure out how to get the posting time working properly, but I got it to work. And so it's really important, this step, and I wanted to explain it to you so that you have a proper understanding of my logic when I'm trying to solve problems. So originally I had this automation, so when a record matches a certain condition, and that was when the posting time is equal to today, trigger the webhook. Now the issue with that is that it would only look at the date and it wouldn't look at the time of the post. So as soon as it would land on, let's say, August 14th, it would post a video right away. And so we wouldn't be able to schedule specific times. And to me, that's super important. And I'm sure to all of you, that's super important. And so the solution that I came up with is I added an extra column here. So you're going to want to add this, call it ready to post, and it's going to be a formula. And then the formula is if posting time is equal to blank, right? So in this instance, you see that the next row is blank. Make ready to post equal to 0, meaning it's not ready to post. But if now, so the current time is greater than or equal to the posting time, set it to 1. So meaning as soon as it goes from 5:30 in this case up here to 5:31, then the post will officially be ready to post because it'll have been past that time and it'll post the video automatically for you. And with this, we're able to post at specific time periods. And once again, I'll be sharing all these formulas with you, everything that you need to be able to complete this video. I'll even give you a sample video that you can load into your all content. If you don't have content and you just want to set up the system, I'll provide you with that so that you can kick off all of these things and get started. Now we're going to come into automations, and you'll see here that I have a lot of automations. Right, so I got this 2 halves, so I created 2 sections. So you're gonna go ahead and create 2 sections, call one posting and call one create assets. And the reason for this and the whole idea behind here is we're going to upload a video. Google Drive is going to populate that file into here. And then based on the type of video that we want to create, it's going to create different assets for that, right? So if we go into YouTube, it's going to create the YouTube title, it's going to create the YouTube description, it's going to create the YouTube tags, and it's going to create the thumbnail prompt. And so that's the first portion, is for all the create assets, right? And different platforms have different formatting, and so we want our format that we're going to post to be in the acceptable format for that platform. And then the second batch is going to be the posting portions. Once we have all those and their data transformed, the next thing we would do is select the posting time. And then once we have that posting time, it would get added to our content calendar, right? Or we could just simply drag and drop them in here. All I did is, if I click X here, I just click see contents and I had them all here to be able to drag them in. And once it passes that time, it's going to post it to all the social medias. So that's what's going on here. That's the logic. And so now what you are going to want to do is say when record matches condition, where the table content and the conditions are when ready to post. And this one's going to be to YouTube. So we're going to add and video type is YouTube. We're going to run a script, and that script is going to be this right here. And the action is going to be post to YouTube. So the next thing we want to do is post to YouTube Shorts. So same thing, when ready to post is equal to 1, and the video type is YouTube Short. We're going to run a script, and that is going to be the same thing, except that we're going to change this to YouTube Short so that we get the action of post to YouTube Short. And then we'll do the same for TikTok. So when a record matches conditions and the video type is TikTok, run a script, and that time it's going to be post to TikTok. And Instagram Reels, video type is Instagram Reels, and we'll change this to post to Reels. And finally we have Twitter, when video type is Twitter. We'll run a script, and that is going to be equal to Twitter. We'll let that finish, and now we have the 5 posting ones done. Now for creating our assets, it's going to be a little bit different. So the only thing that's going to change is, instead of the initial condition being when it's ready to post, we're going to change it to the video type is YouTube, or in this case Twitter. So we're on the create Twitter assets. We're going to say when the video type is Twitter, run this script, and we'll change this to create Twitter post. And then we'll just go ahead and do the same for each and every one. So now we're on YouTube. So when the video type is YouTube, run a script, and that's going to be create YouTube post. Then YouTube short assets. So this is going to be, once again, video type equal to YouTube short, and the script is going to be create YouTube short post. And then lastly, Instagram Reels. So when the video type is Instagram Reels, we're going to run a script, and that is going to be create the reel post. And lastly, we have TikTok. Forgot about TikTok. So select TikTok. Then we'll come in here and create TikTok post. Okay, well, go ahead and hit finish editing. Now we have all our posting and all our assets, creating our assets. Now we're not going to switch it live just yet. Instead, we're going to hop back into our make scenario. I also just went ahead and rename this to social media content scheduler because I was having trouble finding it before. All right, now this top portion right here is coming from another video that I have, which is creating all of the assets, right? Essentially what happens is we upload something to Google Drive, right? A piece of content. Then that sends a trigger once we put it into create the YouTube asset, and it creates that YouTube asset. Then it gets that record in Airtable, downloads the file from Google Drive, converts it, transcribes it, and then uploads it with all the different parameters that you need. So that's for your YouTube. So for creating YouTube assets, right, the action is going to be equal to, if we come into here, the action is going to be create YouTube post. Paste that in there. And so what you're going to need as well is you're going to have a get a record in Airtable right after. So after that, you're going to connect it to your base, connect it to the correct table, and then you want to just pull the record ID from the watch responses in step 1. After that, you're going to have Google Drive download a file. Then you're going to want to make your connection to Google Drive. So for that, you need a client ID and client secret. To create that, you would need to go into Google Cloud Console. When you log in here, you'll have the ability to create a new project. I've already created a project, so I'm just going to jump into mine. Once you're in that project, you could search here for Google Drive. You'll see there's a Google Drive API. You'll just want to go ahead and enable this API. There should be a button here. You can see mine's already enabled. Then you'll jump into, by going here, API, and then over to OAuth consent screen. You'll just hop into credentials. Within credentials, you'd go create credentials, OAuth client ID. So you'd click OAuth client ID. You'd choose web application. You would name it whatever you want. And then the authorized redirect URI is going to be make.com and integromat, right? So you click here. The first one would be integromat.com/OAuth/CV/Google restricted, and then you would do the same thing except make one make.com instead, and then you'd hit create. And once you hit create, it's going to give you a client ID and a client secret. Now I already have one created. I just wanted to show you, if it's your first time, that it's really that simple. So you'd come into your Google Drive, download a file, show advanced settings, drop in your client ID, and drop in your client secret. After doing that, you'd hit the sign in with Google button, sign in like you normally would to Gmail, and now when we open it, it should work correctly. And then we're going to want to grab that file ID, and we're just going to select the video ID. So the next thing we want to do is convert it, because let's say you have a long form piece of content from YouTube, and that's what you want to be able to create the caption for. The video file size is too large, and so what ends up happening is it just won't work. And so in order to do that, we have to transcribe it into an MP3. So now we're going to connect to Cloud Convert, and if you don't know what Cloud Convert is, it allows you literally to just convert from one file to another. They give you up to 25 free credits a day, so you can do this completely free 25 times per day. Depends how much content you're trying to handle. But the pricing is really affordable. And then if you come into API, you can create your own API. You just hop in a dashboard, and then under API, you'll see authorization and then API keys. You'd come in here, hit create new API key, and then you're going to want to copy that. And then you come back here, you'd hit add, and you paste in that API key. Now you want to select input file, upload a file. I'm going to choose the Google Drive download a file, right? So the file that we just downloaded. In terms of convert options, so we're going to be converting from MP4 to MP3, and the file name is going to be the name right here. And then the export options, we want to select yes for download a file. We'll hit OK. Remember to save your work along the way, because that's happened to me in the past, and if you've done a lot of work like this, it sucks. So next thing, we need to transcribe it. So once again, you're going to want to connect to AI. So you'd create your connection. For that, you'll come to openai.com, products, API, login. Once logged in, you'd hit API. Then if you hit dashboard, you can come into API keys, create a new secret key. Once again, get that API key, come back into here, and create your connection. For the file type, we're going to be choosing cloud convert a file. So the file that we just converted. Model is going to be whisper1, and it's just going to transcribe that for us. And then we want the response format in JSON. Hit OK. So now this next step is really where you create the description, the tags, the title, everything, all the assets that you're going to need for your video will be created here. And so we're going to create a completion. We're going to set the model to GPT-4o. The message, the role is going to be set to user, and then the message content is I want you to generate a viral title for my YouTube video that will make people want to click it, a description of what is covered in the video, and hyper specific tags that people will search to find this video. 500 characters total. Finally, I want a prompt that I can feed my AI thumbnail generator that will make people want to click it. So the script is going to be the text that we just transcribed. Please provide the output as a single JSON object with the following structure. So title, description, tags, thumbnail prompt, and ensure that the title is attention grabbing, click worthy, and I pretty much just repeated it again, right? And I found that this works pretty well, and that's pretty much it. Once again, I'm going to be sharing that with you, so you could hop into the Word document and just copy paste this in, hit OK, and then we are going to want to parse it. So we're going to be parsing the results from the previous step, and then finally re-uploading that back into our Airtable base with the same record ID that's passed from the first step. And then we are just going to link all of these different things. So the thumbnail prompt is going to be okay. So now in order to get the results from the JSON request, so to get the proper values, we're going to have to run it once. All right, so we're going to go ahead, we're going to save this make template right now. I'm going to back out. Now we're going to create the next portion. So this is the second make scenario that we're going to have to create. So we're going to watch incoming videos. And so think of it, we're going to drop our file into our inbox in Google Drive or in some folder, and it's going to be watching that files in that folder. And when something gets uploaded there, it's going to create a folder and then move it and then update our Airtable record. So let's go ahead and try it out. We'll come in here. All right, so once you've made that connection in Google Drive, you are going to want to choose your drive. You're going to watch files by the created time. And then I'm just made within my content folder an inbox. So I just use that to drop all my content, and it's watching all file types. And then I set the limit to 2. You can set it to 1, whatever works, right? You're gonna hit OK. Next thing you want to do is you're gonna want to create a folder for that piece of content. So now we're going to create that folder within the inbox, and then the new folder name is going to be equal to the name of the file that we add. And then you're gonna click yes. For the share folder, and the reader is going to be set to anyone, and hit OK. And then lastly, we're going to move that file that we've uploaded into the newly created folder, the file ID from the original step, and then the location. We're going to choose that new folder location, and we're going to turn on map and select the folder ID that was just created. We'll go ahead, we'll hit OK. And then lastly, we're going to create a record within Airtable. You're going to choose your content table, and the description is going to be the name from the original step of the file that we've named it. The video ID is going to be the file ID from the first step right here, the file ID, and the folder ID is going to be from the previous step, step 6, or the second step, which is going to be the folder ID. We'll go ahead, we'll hit OK, we'll save that, and then I'll have uploaded a simple piece of content so that you can try this out. But now we are going to upload our piece of content. We can turn this on. We'll go into our content, into our inbox. So now we're going to drop our sample video in here for the purpose of this. It is going to upload, and now because this is live and it's watching for files in the folder, has now been uploaded. We're just going to hit run once to get that data to pass through. If we go to our inbox, now you can see how it's created that folder. And if we pop into our content, we now see that it has been populated in, except make sure that this file name is set to the file name here. I didn't do that, so we didn't get the proper file name, but make that quick change and you should be good. We'll go ahead, we'll hit save, and we'll turn that on. So the way that this works is the scheduling is set to every 15 minutes. So every 15 minutes, it's going to be looking for when that'll land in your inbox folder. So you could do 2 things. One of the things is you could set your schedule, more frequently so that you get your content added to your inbox. Or another thing you could do is just increase the limit so that when it does pull every 15 minutes, it's pulling back a larger sample. So I would suggest increasing your limit, or you could just come in here and hit run once. So I'm just going to increase my time interval to every minute. We'll hit OK, we'll hit save, and then we are good on that end. Now we can back out of here and we can go back into our social media content scheduler. And if we go into our all content table and we flip this into our YouTube format and we come into our create YouTube assets automation, we can choose the record that we want to test out. So we're going to choose the one that we just uploaded, which is this one right here. And then we are going to test this action. And if it's done properly, if we run this once, you can see that it finds the record, it pulls it in here. Now it's converting that to MP3. It's downloaded the file. Now it's going ahead, it's transcribing it. So it's just successfully transcribed it. It's come up with the title, the description, the tags, as well as the thumbnail prompt. It's successfully parsed that into proper JSON formatting, and then it's updated our Airtable record. So now if we pop back into our data and we look at our YouTube video, you can see that the title, the description, the tags, and the thumbnail prompt are all appearing. Now at that point, you could modify the title, you can modify your YouTube tags, and you could also input your posting date now. So now that we've done it for one, we're going to just replicate it for all the different platforms. So we know that this is the YouTube assets one. We'll add another router right here, and we're actually just going to copy all of these. You could just hold shift and click. You're gonna copy paste them, connect them here. You can auto align them, and we're going to do this 5 times because we have 5 different posts, right? There's the 4th time, and there is the 5th time. We're going to auto align it, and now we are going to change the create YouTube assets. The action, instead of it being create YouTube post, is going to be our second kind of automation, right? So now let's do Twitter. So we're gonna hop into here. We're gonna copy our action, which is create Twitter post, replace that, and we're gonna change this to create Twitter assets. We're going to hit OK. Then we are going to do the same here. Hop back into here. We'll grab our action. We'll head back into here. We'll paste that in and then create YouTube short assets. We'll hit OK. And we're just going to continue doing that for the rest of the different asset types or the different platforms that we require this for. So now we're going to do our 4th one, Instagram Reel post. Okay, saving along the way, and then we're going to finish off with our TikTok. Drop that in. So create TikTok post. We'll hit OK. Now we have that all built out. Everything is the same, literally everything, except the only difference, right, because all of these steps are going to follow suit, is we need to change the prompts. And the prompts are going to change based on the formatting requirements of the platform. So obviously Twitter has different formats than if you're posting a long form YouTube video, right? You're only allowed a certain amount of characters, you're only allowed a certain amount of hashtags. All right guys, so you can just copy and paste them directly for all of these prompts directly from the document that I've shared with you guys. So it's super simple. It's really plug and play. Then we are going to have to get the data into the Airtable to update the record. So in order to do that, we are going to trick the data. So we're going to come back into the automation that we labeled as YouTube. Now we're going to flip it into TikTok. We'll go over to automations to our TikTok. We're going to choose the record. We'll choose the TikTok one. And we'll come here. We'll test the action. We'll run this once. And now it should pick up, go down the TikTok route. You can see it was picked up. Same process is occurring. It's converting the file again. It's going to transcribe it. And then we'll get the proper JSON that's parsed. And then we can update our Airtable record. And so now because we're going to put the title into the TikTok title and the description into the TikTok description, and same with the tags. And we'll just go ahead, we'll hit OK, we'll hit save. And we're going to repeat that for the rest of these steps right here. So we'll do Instagram Reels next. So we'll come back in here, we'll flip this into Instagram Reel, and we'll come in here, we'll choose the record, and we'll test the action. That's going to get caught, and the same thing will happen again. And then we're going to repeat that 2 more times. Hey guys, so we've just successfully set up all of these, right? So now we can create assets for whatever piece of content that we want. That'll have the description, a thumbnail, prompt, as well as relevant hashtags and a title. So you pretty much have it all right here. Super powerful, And now the next step is being able to schedule it so that it auto posts to whatever platform that we want. I also just went ahead and grouped the all content tab by the video type so that it's really easy to see what kind of content that you're creating. You can focus on one in specific if you want. And so we'll start from the top. So the first thing that we want to do is, so now you can open up the posting within your automation list. So what's happening is that when a record matches condition, right? So when it's ready to post and the video type is YouTube, we're going to run this script, and that script is going to have the action, which is post to YouTube. If we hop back in here, we're going to create another router, and it's going to be the same thing. So we're going to be getting that record. So honestly, you can just clone this, pop it in down here, connect it, and delete that right there. Auto align. So it goes ahead, it grabs the record ID from step 1, so it's going to have the post to YouTube. We're just going to upload a video. We're going to pop back over to the Google Cloud Console, back in your project, search for YouTube, and this is the one we want right here. So the YouTube Data API version 3. We're going to click enable. Now that it's enabled, we'll go to credentials. We're going to create a credential, OAuth client ID. Application type is going to be a web application. Name it whatever you want. I'm calling it YouTube posting. And we need to add this authorized redirect URI. Go ahead, we'll hit create. And then you can copy the client ID and client secret. Click on show advanced setting. You're going to paste your client ID and client secret here and click yes for YouTube's terms. And then you're going to want to check manage your YouTube videos and manage your YouTube account. Continue. When that's done, we're just going to go ahead and unlink it for a second. We're going to get some data down in here. We can come back up here. Look in our YouTube video. We already have the title, description, everything, right? Or if we were using the latest and greatest, we could literally just flip that back into the status that we need and get the data that we need. And when we go to post to YouTube, we'll come here, we'll choose the record, and we'll run that script. So we'll test the action. First, we'll come back into make. We'll run this once, and we will test the action. Now we should see it come down here. It didn't work because we forgot to set up our filter. So we'll call the label post to YouTube. The condition is going to be the action, and then we'll post YouTube right here. I'll hit OK, we'll run it again, and we'll test the action again. It should grab it and come down here. Now we can connect that back to YouTube. So YouTube title becomes the title. Okay, so first, before we can upload that file, so for the file name, right, we're gonna map it. And in order to map it, we need to add this download a file. So we'll clone this module, we'll bring it down here, and we'll choose the file ID as the video ID from the previous step. We'll hit OK, connect that to Google Drive. You can go ahead, choose the video category that you want. You can set it to public, or if you're testing this for the first time, you could set it to private so it doesn't post on your main page. The description is going to be the description, and then tags would map to your tags that are created. You could set notify subscribers to yes. Go ahead, we'll hit OK. We're just going to save that. Save it anyways, and then you can unlink this. Come back into your content. Go back here. We'll run once. We'll wait for new data, and we'll just test this action again. Now you can see that Google Drive download a file is right here. So that's the file that will link up. So the license, you can select the one you want. I go for the standard YouTube license, and then the recording date can come into the calendar, and you can select now and go ahead, hit OK and save. We're done the YouTube portion. We'll go ahead, we'll copy those steps, connect it up to the root router. So next up we could do Twitter. So we'd come here, delete this module, we'll add in Twitter. So create a post. You're going to need to create another connection. So you're going to come in here, Twitter for developers, on the Twitter developer platform, log in on X API, API access levels. You'll click getting access, and you sign up for a developer account. So if we click on here, make sure you sign up for a developer account. So developer.twitter.com, create your developer account. You're going to need to create a project. I've already created my project here. And then once you create your project, you come here, you create your API, and then you'll have your keys and tokens right here. Have your API key and secret, the bearer token, as well as the access token and secret, all here for your page. Then you would just come back into here, go add, paste in your client ID, your client secret, hit save, and then you'll have a connection to your tweet. Then in terms of the text content, we no longer need this. media. So we're just posting a tweet. If you did want to post a media, then there is a way to do that as well. But I'm just going to be posting a tweet. It would simply be the title and the Twitter hashtags. Go ahead, we'll hit OK. We'll save that too. Now we can go ahead, we can clone this, delete this module, we'll bring this down here. Because the YouTube is literally identical, only thing that's changing is the formatting. We're going to download that file, everything's the same. Now the title is going to be YouTube short title. Description is still going to be the YouTube short description. And the tags are going to be the YouTube short tags. Recording date is now, the rest stays the same. We hit OK. And make sure that you're coming in and changing the filters, right? So we go into content. So we just did YouTube shorts. Have that action, post YouTube short, back into it and change it to post YouTube short. Just post YouTube short, we'll hit OK. Do the same for our Twitter one. We'll grab that action, post to Twitter, and we'll change this to post to Twitter as well. Go ahead, we'll auto align again. The next portion that we're going to be setting up is TikTok. And I know right now all they have is make an API call. And it's actually my first time doing this, so we are going to be learning at the same time. All right guys, so in order to be able to post directly any videos, you actually need to undergo an audit. If it's unaudited, you'll be restricted to private viewing. Once you've successfully tested your integration, to lift the restriction, your API client must undergo an audit to verify the compliance. Chances are, based on the information that I've read, you won't be able to post directly to TikTok. I did come across this, which is called Airshare. So Airshare is just APIs that enable you to send social media posts across Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Reddit, LinkedIn, Telegram, YouTube, Google, Pinterest, and TikTok. So I've literally hit every single one. In terms of posting, they do have a free version, which is 20 real-time posts a month, and you can still post to all of these platforms. So if you did want to post to TikTok, then you'd have to pay the $100 a month. So I understand for some people starting out this might be a lot, but if you are a business and you are looking to integrate this, there is this option, right? And it's really just as easy as clicking and linking up your account. You can click your API key, it'll give you your API key, it gives you different coding examples of how you can post to the different platforms. They've made it super simple where you literally just have to change your platform. Got webhooks, and they also have some pretty great docs on getting started. So it's pretty incredibly powerful, and this is how I would suggest doing it if you are looking to add that implementation. Now for the sake of this video, unfortunately we can't create that connection, but at the very least we'll be able to generate still the assets for that video, and you can post it manually. Alright guys, so the last connection that we have to make is the Instagram for Business one, and this is actually one of the simpler ones. So if I were to connect to it again, you would just click here, you type in Instagram for Business. You do need to have a business or a professional or a creator account, because at the current moment you can't just use a regular consumer account. You'd click create a real post, and then you would go add connection, and just hit save and sign in like you normally would. And then you'll want to connect your page. For the video URL, you're going to search link, and then we're going to grab the web content link and put that in there. For the caption, now this is where we are going to need that Airtable data. So we're going to need to get some data down into here. So what we're going to do is just unlink this for the second, and now this is our post IG reel action. So we're going to come into our Airtable. So switch this into an Instagram reel. Look at our Instagram reel. You can see it's missing the title, the description, and the tags. So we're going to have to generate that now. So we can come into our create Instagram reel assets. We'll choose that record. We'll run that once. We'll hop back into here. We'll test the action. Now it's going to create the Instagram reel assets that we need. Now if we pop back into our data, we should see we have the Instagram reel title, description, and the tags. And so now if we trigger that automation again, so post to Instagram reels, we run this one more time and we hit test action for posting the Instagram reel. It'll be a success. It'll come down here. We'll get the proper values populated, and now we can hop back into our Instagram for business portion, we'll add the web content link again, and then the caption this time is going to be the Instagram reel title, the Instagram reel description, and the Instagram reel tags. Another cool thing you could add is if you know the location in seconds of the cover frame that you want to use as your video, you could paste it in here, and then you want to share it to your feed. We're going to hit OK, and we'll hit save, and now you are done. So with this, you can post to YouTube, either long form or short form. You can post to Twitter, or you can post to Instagram. Now I could build it out even further, and let's say we wanted to get really crazy. You could toss in another router here, and that router would decide whether this should be a regular tweet or if it should be, a video. And then based on that, it'll post accordingly. So you could just have text or you could have video, because the thing to remember is that based on the platform that you're posting to, the format matters, because people will like content that is similar to what they've already liked. So it doesn't matter how much value you're providing. If it's not in the format that people want it in, then people aren't going to watch. So if you have watched to the end of this video, it would do me a huge favor if you dropped a subscribe, as I'm trying to continue to create this content and give you guys more incredible solutions to help automate your content and much more. I have a lot more in store for you. I will also be building out an analytics tool to be able to analyze your competition very shortly. I'm also looking into how we can integrate generative AI artworks as well as videos directly into content creation so you can maximize your time. And this is really just the start. So I hope you are with me for the long haul, and I hope you can be part of this amazing journey. So with that being said, I hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.